Hello everyone, my name is Spoon5able and welcome to my YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is going to be dedicated to vape product reviews, specifically juices, mods, and tanks. We'll be talking about some coils because that's kind of important too. I will be doing most of the reviews and it will also be featuring one of my friends, Chelsea. She also vapes, so it's kind of important when you're doing reviews that you have two different people reviewing the same product so you can get two different types of feedback to know if you have one for it, one against it, two for it. It can kind of help you basically explain the product better, and it can help you make a better decision as a consumer. I should also note that as of this moment, we are not endorsed. We are not paid by anybody to do this. We are doing this for fun, to help our friends and family understand vaping better so they can make the decision like we did to stop smoking or smoke less. We are going to be using our own money to purchase the products, so I'm sorry if the product reviews are few and far between. But until we get subscribers or until we get some sort of funding for this, we will be having to do this out of pocket. So please keep... So the first product I would actually like to review today is the vape mod that I will be using the most, which is my Sigelei Sobra vape mod. So first we'll talk about the actual mod itself, and then I will review the tank. So a couple of things. When I'm going to be doing either a juice review or a tank review, or I mean, I guess I could do it with a coil review, I'm going to be talking about two things. I'm going to talk about purpose on a scale of 1 to 10, which purpose for me means how good does it do at its purpose? How good does it give you that throat hit if you want it? How good does it give you the airflow if you want that? How good does it deliver the flavor? I consider those things purpose. It's essentially why you buy what you buy. Then the second criteria I'm going to be rating tanks, juices, and coils on is performance. So if you're one of those people that really wants to be subtle, doesn't want a whole lot of clouds, or if you really, really want big clouds, you'll be able to tell on that scale how well it actually performs or looks. So first of all, we're going to be reviewing the tank here, or the mod, excuse me. And I really like... The main reason I bought this was because of the way it feels in my hand. I have skinnier hands. They're not really small, but they're skinnier. So I tried to hold a lot of the other bulkier box mods, and it just felt like I was holding a cinder block. But I was going to go with one of the more popular brands because I've heard of it before, until I actually picked this one up and held it and realized, oh, this feels really nice to hold, so that is definitely a plus. I wouldn't say it's more feminine, but if you have smaller hands or things of that nature, this would probably be a good one. The second thing I would like to mention is also do not go buy products online that you have not tried, tested, and know you like. A lot of times you can test out a flavor in a vape shop real quick, or they'll let you, mess with a display model to see how it feels, kind of see how easy it would be to fill it, things like that. They will let you try the product so you know what exactly it is you're buying. If I would have ordered offline like I originally planned, I would not have ended up with this, and I don't think I would have been able to stick with vaping as long as I have, nor would I have been able to actually quit smoking, which is a disgusting habit. Don't do it. So anyway, now we're going to get on to what makes it kind of it. So it has removable batteries. They are the 18650 2500 mAh 3.7. There's two of them. One thing, the plus and the minus, you can't see that. It's really hard to see. So if that's a make or break point for you, that's probably going to be a break because you can't see that. So when you put in the batteries, it automatically turns on. This is the display mode that I have set right now. It has your wattage, your resistance, your volt that your battery runs off of. It has a puff counter up here, and then battery percentage. One thing to note is that this mod does take 2 batteries. So granted, some people may say, oh, that's a lot more money in the long run. Well, yeah, it is, but you're going to get a lot better battery life out of your vape mod. You may have to charge it only once every 2.5 days instead of literally every single night. Fun fact, don't charge your vape mod with the batteries inside of it. Yes, they send you with this convenient little charger and a nice little hole right there to stick a charger into. Buy a separate charger, spend the money, take your batteries out of your vape when you charge them. Just a word to the wise. So then we get on to the menu. So the menu is really easy. 3 clicks of the fire button. In your mode, you can go to the temperature control mode. You can also change the display and the brightness going into the screen setting. You can go to the set option. Then you can also set your power savings, your zero puffs, and your preheat. I really have not messed with the preheat option that much, so I'm assuming that just is how hot or how hard you want it to initially hit. I think that's what that is. And then obviously you go to your exit and it takes you out of all of that. So the fire button, it is very small. It is a really small square button with a slight indentation on the side. I particularly like this because you don't literally have to squeeze the entire thing every time you want to take a hit off your vape. A lot of people like the bigger ones because it doesn't matter where you're holding it. They can hit up, down, doesn't matter, they're gonna hit it. I don't particularly like that because if I put this in my pocket, I know if I squat down or bend down and it's in the front pocket of my jeans or whatever, I'm not gonna accidentally hit that button because it's all the way up here. Secondly, it doesn't matter how you hold it. You know, either your thumb or your first finger, however it stays positioned in your hand, you know you're gonna hit that button, so you don't really have to worry about that a whole lot. Also, one thing worthy to mention, when you hit the fire button, it lights up. The little eyes light up because it's like a play on a cobra snake, so that's kind of cool. I would say this is probably one of the better mods I've seen. The only downside, your up and down buttons are kind of hidden in the middle there. They're really hard to find. They're really hard to see. The only other downside is your resistance down here. A lot of times that changes, and I don't know why. You can have the same resistance coil in it the entire time you're using it, and it will change. I think what it has to do with is how hard you're pulling in relation to how long you're hitting the fire button. That's my only guess on what that's all about. So the tank that it comes with is the Moonshot 120 tank. The tank has airflow options for fully closed, fully open. I prefer the fully open. It kind of depends on the flavor, really, and what wattage you set it at with your preferences, but I like that it's easy to rotate. It glides. You don't have to fight. You're not going to worry about unscrewing your tank, just trying to turn it to get it set to how you want. The coils that it comes with are these. They are the MSH, I believe is what they're called, but they're manufactured by the Sigelei brand. So if you want to take this to your vape shop and get coils, or if you choose to order them offline, just type in the Sigelei Moonshot 120 coil or a replacement coil, and it should take you where you need to go. They have a few different resistances you can get them at. This is the 0.2, which is 460 to 120 watts. Now, because of this type of flavor, which I will review in a different video, the wattage is set really, really, really low. So it's only at 61 right now. But with a different, more tart flavor, I've set this up as high as 73, and it still performs really well. It doesn't give you that real hot burnt hit yet, but that's just as high because I literally want the bare minimum to get me what I need. I'm not really interested in pushing it to the maximum level. So it is a top fill tank. That means you screw or unscrew this tiny little top part, and that comes off. Real easy silicone, boop, Stick the top of your bottle in there, lightly squeeze, and fill. First time I've ever had a top fill tank. Pretty much the greatest thing since sliced bread. Downside. I don't know what is up with this really awkward, like a bottle nipple colored tip. That's weird. I'd much prefer like stainless steel, because this is really awkward, and it's plastic. So if this ever gets stripped, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do about it. So I haven't even been able to find replacement tips for this. It's not like, you know, you can just get a replacement drip tip and pop it on like you can with most. So that's a pretty big downside. You can't find parts if that breaks. So you better hope you're careful with it. But it is very comfortable in the mouth. It's not super long. It's not really wide like the RDA ones, which is a plus for someone like me who can't do vape tricks to save their life and is really only interested in the purpose. So as far as purpose, I would rate this, I would say this tank I would rate a 9 out of 10. It is extremely customizable as far as airflow goes. You can take the center column out of the tank to hold slightly bigger coils. I think you can use the Smock Baby coils on this if you take that center portion out. So that's really handy that you don't have to just stick to one coil. You actually have more options, so that's definitely a plus. As far as flavor, I've not had an issue with this tank or this mod getting me the flavor that I need to have. Granted, I buy premium juices that are a lot more expensive to make sure that I get that flavor, but I do not feel, I mean, with this, couple of tweaks of the wattage and I get exactly what I need to get out of it. I don't have to have anything specific. As far as performance, I will show you. So, as you can see, it is definitely pretty nice on cloud delivery. You're not gonna fill a room unless you turn your watts way up, which I have not done. However, for your average everyday vaping, if you wanted to do tricks, you could probably do them if you're a lot more experienced than me with this particular tank and the way all of this is set up. So I'll show you again specifically how the lights light up so you can know when exactly you're hitting your fire button. Yeah, and that's only at 61 watts. So I do use 3 nicotine. I don't go any higher than that, which I'm sure your different VG-PG ratios, your different nicotines, all of that stuff is going to affect the way your flavor tastes and the way that your clouds come out, how long your coils last, if you're a constant vapor, things like that. So far, another downside, I vape a lot, not chain vaping, but I would say more on the moderate side of vaping. And the coils that came with this, I'm only getting maybe 4 or 5 days out of each one. Still with the premium juices, I should be getting a lot more than that, I feel. So if anybody has any tips to how to make coils last longer, aside from poking the holes in it, because did that, leaked everywhere, not a good time. So, if anybody has any tips on how to make your coils last longer, let me know. I'm tired of buying a lot of coils. So, anyway, mod, pros. You don't gotta worry about it going off in your pocket. The lights tell you when your fire button's being hit. I'd say a pro is definitely the display, the way it looks. See, there it goes, changing the resistance again. I'm not sure what's up with that. But you have a puff counter if you're interested in seeing how many puffs you take a day, or how many puffs you get per coil, or how many puffs you get per tank, or whatever you want to do, that's there for you. The battery life display is easy to read. Your voltage or your wattage is easy to set. Your voltage is easy to read, so that's definitely a plus for me. Plus, the removable batteries, you don't have to charge it internally, which I really like. Con, I would say the up and down buttons. They're really hard to see. And another con is figuring out which way your batteries go in, because that's hard to see too. And another con is the changing resistance thing. I literally don't know what that is about. It changes all the time and it always says something different. That's another thing, but it works for me and I'm not too technical about like having everything a specific way all the time, so it's really not that big of a deal, but if you are, that might be a drawback for you. The tank, I mean, it definitely, I would give it 8 or 9 out of 10 on purpose. It gets what I need. Definitely delivers on flavor. The only con of it, like I said, is that tip. That's weird. It doesn't go with the black. So Sigelei, I don't know what your deal is there. Also, the replacement glass, it's curved on the edges. The replacement glass they send you is not. It's flat. Also, I haven't been able to find a replacement glass for this that is like perfectly curved on the edges without buying a whole new tank. So if you have this vape mod and you know where to find some of those, let me know. Put it in the comments down below so I can figure out how to get that for myself. Performance, 10 out of 10. I mean, it's gonna get you exactly what you need. I don't know if I would recommend it if you're like into trick vaping, but I mean, you can definitely get clouds with this. I'm using a 60-40 ratio vape juice. It's set on low wattage, and you saw how it performs. So if you're into doing clouds, you get the higher ratio one and you set your wattage higher, it's obviously going to be able to do what you need. So that is my review on not only my mod, but my tank. And I will be, in the next episode, I think I'm going to review the other tanks I have with different coils, and then we will see where we go from there. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.